Welcome to Kelly Paper Online Training. My name is David Mount. Thanks for joining me for another Signature Service training module. This presentation is entitled Taking Must-Have Orders, and here's the objectives. We'll talk about what is a must-have order, as well as the forms used to take must-have orders. We'll also talk about specific orders like cuttings, ink orders, three-hole drill, and round corner orders. What is a must-have? This term comes from the simple idea that a customer has requested a product that is not on hand. Since the customer must have this item, we order it in from our distribution center for the next day. Thus the term must-have. This is the order pad. It's one of the forms we use to take and place must-have orders. As with all forms, the date is always required. Always fill out the contact information completely. Always be as neat and legible as possible. Remember that others on your team will most likely also be handling orders that you write. Written communication must be professional and neat and complete in order to ensure quality. When recording the product information, always be thorough. Use this field to indicate if the order is a must-have, transfer, or will call. A must-have is an order that your customer needs but you can't fill from the store. A transfer is an order that is being filled by another store location. And a will call is an order that is filled by pulling the stock from your shelf. When the warehouse is out of an item, this is called a back order. Be careful to record complete communication regarding the status of every order. Always let the customer know when a back order occurs. Let them know if you are able to get the product from another location and how long it will take to receive into your store. Use the price field to record special pricing quotes or to work out a COD amount. Recording this information while you are talking with your customer will actually save time later. This is the fax shopping list, also known as the fax pad. Customers use this form to fax orders for pickup and delivery. If the order is a delivery, enter the codes in the appropriate field and put the form in the ordering tray at the front counter. For pickup orders, pull all available items and place in the will call area. If an item is not in stock, notify the customer as soon as possible. Check availability with the warehouse or surrounding stores before calling the customer. If the customer can wait, write up a must-have order for the next day. Here we are back at the order pad ordering form. When there are special instructions for a must-have, indicate those instructions here in this area. Use this area to record cutting instructions and charges. Take the time to figure cutting charges out at the time of the order. This is proactive customer service and will help to process the customer during checkout. Let me show you how I came to the cutting charge of $22.25 on this sample order. Before you can determine what a cutting charge will be, you must first be able to calculate the yield, or how many pieces of a desired finish size can be cut from a parent size sheet of paper. While we do provide a cutting chart in Section 2 of the Kelly Paper Price Book, it's important for you to be able to calculate cuttings. Most cutting charts will only list the maximum yield for a finish size. This will not be sufficient when your customer needs specific grain directions for a production job. Also, papers with a visible finish require either long or short grain so that the finish will run the same direction for the entire cut job. So bear with me while I show you the steps to figure out a finished cutting. Remember that when dealing with parent size sheets, the second dimension equals the grain direction. The grain direction is the direction of the fibers in the paper. In this example, our customer wants this 26-inch by 40-inch paper cut to 8.5 by 11 inches with a long grain. First, we need to divide the 26-inch direction with the 8.5-inch direction for the desired finish size. So 26 divided by 8.5 equals 3.06. Next, we repeat this procedure with the 40-inch side, dividing it by the 11-inch side of the desired finished sheet. So 40 inches divided by 11 inches is 3.64. Now we round each of the results to the full length, then multiply, so that 3 times 3 equals 9. Now the division remainder from each side actually becomes the waste. This is important to know because many customers will ask you for the waste for another project. The example in this diagram shows the same parent size sheet cut to 8.5 by 11 with a short grain. As you can see, we have a yield of 8 out. This diagram shows a combination cut. Notice that if we cut the 40-inch length in half, we're able to get 5 pieces out of each side for the combination cut. Also notice that we have 6 long grain pieces and 4 short grain pieces for the combination cut. Now let's take a look at our cutting schedule in Section 2, Page 2 of the Kelly Paper Price Book. Notice that we have a minimum charge for our cutting service. This minimum is so that small orders will enable us to remain profitable for our labor costs. Always use the cutting schedule before applying the minimum cutting charge. First, we see how many pieces out on the schedule. Next, we see the cutting unit for each grade. Notice here that writing, bond, safety paper, and newsprint grade charges are calculated by the thousand. Book, text, and gummed papers are also calculated by the thousand. Index, vellum Bristol, cover, and pressure-sensitive papers are charged by the hundred. Board grades are also charged by the hundred. Finally, chipboard is charged by the bundle. Now let me demonstrate the results of our long grain calculation in our example from earlier. Remember, the example was 500 sheets of 26 by 40 cover paper with a long grain cut 9 out. According to our schedule, 5 to 16 pieces out is $4.45 per 100 sheets. So 500s times $4.45 is $22.20.